So mind maps are an important thing to include in your LO2 section for any iMedia portfolio. You need to do this pretty much for all the portfolios. I'm going to show you how to use MindMup to create a simple online mind map. That's the project brief I'm working to. You can pause the screen if you need to. It's a standard sort of thing. And I'll be producing a document that ends up looking kind of like that, I suppose. So this is the MindMup website. Google it and you'll get there. You don't want to sign up. You do want to create a free mind map. It costs money to sign up and you don't want to bother with that. So when you create a mind map, you get a central hub in the middle, which you need to immediately put some writing in. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So double click on there. And my mind map is for a DVD cover for a highlights video for Hopton United. So we'll include that as the central hub, I suppose, in this case. Once you've got the central hub, the button's up the top left. You can add a child node. This adds the first set of nodes. So I'm going to include the technical bits. I'm going to add some more nodes off of that. So I've got a print version that I need to create. I might talk about the size that the document has to be. Now, if you accidentally create a node off of that, then use the sibling node method to create nodes side by side. You can just delete, go back, undo, those sorts of things. Talk about quality. You need to make sure that you explain that you understand what this sort of stuff shows, by the way. It's not enough really to just have a base, all the stuff as really basic points on a mind map. You do want to go a bit further than that, okay? And I do, those sorts of things for that. Perhaps then go back to the tech bits, create another child node off that for the web version, because this is a digital graphics piece, so I've got a print version and a web version, and we'll include similar sorts of things here. So once that's done, back to the central hub, and you can create some more nodes. Remember, my map's made up of the central hub, nodes and subnodes. Okay, all linked together with lines that we call links. So I'm going to have a section on what might be on DVD covers, because there's always the same sorts of things on them. It'd be a good thing to include at this point while I'm gathering ideas together. So back to Central Hub, and I'm going to include a section on what I know about the audience for my product. Now, these are the sorts of things that need to be in LO2 anyway, so it's a good opportunity to start to summarize some of them on a mind map as well. Now, zoom out a little bit, and we'll now add perhaps a section about copyright and how that might affect your work. You could do that. You could have a section on the sorts of hardware that might be needed as well, or software. Both of those things would be fine to include on here. And perhaps one last section might be to think about some design ideas. These need to be included as part of LO2, so it's the sort of thing that you could include now. That could be things like colors, it could be things like layout, designs, the sorts of things that might be used as images, for example. All that stuff can be included now. One thing you might want to do, you can change the background color on some of the nodes. This is quite useful. Some people like to do it to have different sections of the mind map in different colors, perhaps the different sort of groupings there. You can bring in images, for example, using that button there. The problem with bringing images in is it won't always want to export the piece of work once you've finished. Now, here's the problem. When you've got a finished mind map, you need to download it as either an image or a PDF file. You can't save this, okay? It will not save for you. You will not be able to go back to it. I'm going to download it as a PNG image file. And once I've got that downloaded, there we go, press the download button. Now what happens in my web browser is it opens the image in a new window. So I've now got to right click and save the image. I'm using a Mac, so yours will look a little bit different, but it's the same sort of thing. Okay, so there's the image. We've got it downloaded. I'll open it up and there you go. That's something that I could include on my work.